Alright guys, what's up? So as I'm driving home, I got to thinking, and I never really gave an update on the car. There's been a lot of things that have gone on, but I kind of just skipped right to the startup. But I didn't go over what we actually have been doing to it and all the stuff that got done. So I figured I would put together a slideshow with the voiceover, because I didn't get much video. I got plenty of pictures, but it's not that I don't want to film when I'm over there. It's just most of the time we're on a time crunch. I can't be over there until 9 o'clock at night, so we try to get as much work done with the little time we have as possible. So I put together something and we'll go over it real quick. So my last update on the car, we picked it up from Kyle's and we took it right to my dad's shop where we're going to finish up the rest of the work at. Immediately we put it on the lift, and one of the things that's always been a problem with the car is the tank. Somebody welded the sump at a weird angle to where you always have to have a quarter tank of gas or more, and I was just tired of dealing with that. So we pulled the tank out, mounted the fuel pumps. While everything was out of the way, I figured I might as well get some undercoating. So I undercoated everything underneath. We mounted the derail transcooler, I think that's the 13700. Mounted it right in the stock muffler location like everybody recommends. It's actually like the perfect spot for it. Ran all the lines, we just did some push lock. I usually don't use push lock, but that's all we had. So Alex with the white car, he gave me his old tank. I got a sump off of eBay from UPR, and of course the fitment was way off. So luckily I know a guy that can get it right. So off to Kyle's it went. In the meantime, I wanted to knock out all the little stuff, so I converted the Hurst pistol grip shifter from a 2-speed to a 3-speed, mounted the Mac valve, and bolted up the Sonax 8/8 flange. It's already got 1350 joints in it. It's a direct bolt on. I think it's the only one you can get for a stock 8/8. In order to get the flexible trans dipstick to fit, I had to drop the trans pan, and while it was out, might as well drill and tap the hole for the trans temp sensor. Kind of did a little wire tuck and relocated the coolant overflow. Got the converter spacing right, like a hair over 1/8 of an inch. Converter is actually a JAGS XHD 60429. So Kyle called and said that the tank was ready to be picked up. As you can see, he cut it and re-welded it and bent it up to get it to fit right. Turned out pretty good. I put a layer of paint on it to prevent some of the rust. Threw the tank in the next day. Got the lines figured out. They kind of loop around. I don't know how well that's going to perform, but we'll see. The setup is a dual AM 400s with a JAGS pre-filter and post-filter. I got the faster performance parallel Y fitting, which is a real nice piece. 8 AN to the rails, 8 AM return with the low dollar fuel sensor. The flex fuel sensor in the return that goes back to the stock feed, which you guys know that's what caused the fuel pressure issue. The LS3 dipstick was such a pain in the ass on this car. We had to take the AJE motor mounts and cut the whole end off of it for it to clear. So we got all the starter and alternator wiring figured out. Didn't use the stock Ford solenoid like some people do. I don't know why you would. There's a solenoid right on the starter, so we ran the wire straight from the battery. Wired up the Holly temporarily just to dry fire it, and then we ended up putting some fluids in there to actually start it up, and you guys already know what happened with that. Started it up, it ran for about 4 seconds. The O-ring on the injector blew open, shot fuel everywhere. The fuel pressure climbed, and come to find out, we didn't check to see if there was a pump in the stock tank that I got from a friend, which is our fault. So my return goes right to the stock feed on the tank, and that was causing a restriction, which caused the O-ring to blow and crack the intake. It sucks, but it is what it is. That's part of it. We already have the intake taken off, and my new one came in last week from Ryan Jenks. Huge thanks to him, shipping it out for me, no cost. So my next video is going to be me swapping everything over from the intakes, and I'm going to show how I utilize the intake. That way you don't have to use a vacuum block or anything like that. I know it's kind of busy, but you have all the ports you have to block off anyway, so you might as well use them for fittings, for the blow-off valve and the fuel pressure and all that. So I'm going to show that. Maybe it'll help somebody out. But other than that, that's pretty much where we're at with the car right now. That's as up to date as possible. The next big thing, and probably one of the last things, is going to be running all the wiring, doing all the inputs and outputs. I know we're kind of dreading that, but I have a few people that gave me some good information. We just never done anything like that before, so it's all new to us. And I need to order a drive shaft. So that's pretty much it. Once that's on there, it should be running and driving, hopefully. And you know, it sucks it's the end of the year, but I guess, you know, it's not snowing or anything yet, so I can still cruise it around, maybe get it dialed in, so that way once the season starts next year, it should be 100%, and I can hit the track and have some fun with it. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.